All right, now, today we're talking about a certain segment of a family. They could be young, they could be old. It really doesn't matter the age, as long as they live in your house and spend all your hard-earned dollars and do nothing, not squat. They fit the definition of what we're talking about today. That's moochers, those family members that just bleed you dry. Time, money, effort, energy. Today we're going to meet a 49-year-old who says the only thing he has in common with his freeloading twin brother is the roof over their heads, which he pays for. Now we're going to meet them later, but first Nancy says she and her siblings had to resort to some pretty drastic measures because their dad refuses to kick their mooching brother out of the house. Take a look.
Have you looked for a job today?
My 21-year-old brother Matt is mooching off my dad.
Thank you, Dad.
Why should he go get a job when he knows my father will continue to support him?
Matthew, for the last several years, has been living with my father.
Come here.
Matt feels like my dad is a money tree and he can pick it whenever he wants.
It's becoming a real burden on my father.
My brothers and sisters have mooched off of my father as well. It's not just me.
I pay for all of his expenses.
My truck, my cell phone, my entertainment, my clothing.
You got money for gas? I bought his car for him.
My dad is a pushover when it comes to Matt. We are trying to say, Dad, if you start to say no a little more, Matthew will realize that you're serious.
Every time I ask my dad for money, he says, damn it, this is the last time, but I know it's not. I tell him sometimes I'm looking for a job, so he'll give me money for gas, and really, I'll go buy some beer.
I think Matt is lazy. He hasn't felt the real need to get a job.
It's tough to find a job because I'll sleep all day and I'll stay up all night.
I think a job might cramp his style.
I've had about 8 jobs in my life. Some of them have lasted 4 months, some of them 2 weeks.
I am the beneficiary of my wife's insurance policy, and most of the money I'm saving for Matt. Matt feels like he should have a right to have it any time he asks for it.
It makes me angry the way my dad has spent the money without talking to me first about it.
Matt has issues with the money. He's made comments that you better not be using my money. What Matthew needs to realize is that the money is for school.
There has been some animosity from the rest of the children about the insurance money.
The inheritance money has been a bone of contention. I know it's caused strife amongst my brothers and sisters.
I'm 21 and I shouldn't be told what to do.
In his mind, as soon as my father passes away, they're going to hand him a big check and say, here you go, have fun.
Matt, you want to dump this trash for me?
Matthew has a play hard, sleep hard philosophy. When you ask Matthew to wash the cars, you might as well just do it yourself.
I need to clean up this backyard, huh?
It hasn't been done for a long time.
It'll take like 5 minutes.
My father's asked him to help with the yard work and has offered to pay him. He didn't do it, so my father had to hire the neighbor.
He just floats through life.
My daughter Denise has offered to build me a place to stay because of my stress and living with Matt.
And we'll be able to get him out of the situation that he's in right now.
It kind of caught me off guard. I definitely kind of resented that.
My idea was to help Matthew find an apartment for himself. We actually bought Matthew a trailer.
I'm pretty much being forced to move in this trailer. I would much rather stay here with my dad. It's a really run-down trailer. My dad already agreed to help pay for electricity and gas and stuff.
DrPhil, how can we get Matt to progress in his life when he's still mooching off our father?
Okay, now I want to go over the family tree here so we've got everything right. Now, Robert is the dad and Matt is Robert's adopted son. Actually, Matt, you're your dad's grandson, but you refer to him as your dad because he's raised you most of your life, right?
Yes.
And so Nancy and Dale and Denise and Mark are actually aunts and uncles, but y'all have all lived as family, so you regard him as your brother and them as your brothers and sisters, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. You watched the characterization of what you do, and you agreed that you lie to get money. You say, I need money for gas to go get a job, but you like buy beer or whatever, and that he pays for virtually everything. You don't actually earn any money, right?
Yeah, but it's not, I'm not lying. Like I tell my dad what I'm gonna use the money for most of the time, but when I go out on the weekends or something, I don't tell him exactly what I'm gonna use it for, but.
Let me go back over those sentences. No, I don't lie. I tell him pretty much what I'm going to use the money for most of the time, except on weekends when I might kind of not be entirely forthcoming.
Yeah.
Did I get that?
Yeah.
Did I get that right? Okay. What do you want to see happen?
I would like to see Matt realize that he is very important in our family. He has self-worth, and he can be on his own 2 feet.
This is your dad.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this? Do you think he's taking advantage of you?
Yes, he's taking advantage of me, but I love the kid completely, and I'll do anything in the world I can do to help him.
And Denise, y'all are actually building a house for you to move into
Right.
because you can't get him out of this one?
Well, it's more than that. Dad.
Is that even a factor? Because y'all said it was a factor.
It is. They live in a big 5-bedroom house, and they don't need to live. It's expensive, and Dad needs to be closer to someone who can help him physically, because he's got some medical issues. And so we thought the best thing was to move him down close to us where we could be with him, and then have Matt move into his own place.
You say, in your words, that you expect your dad to pay your expenses.
It's been going on for quite a while, and
So you just kind of got used to it?
I just kind of got used to it, I guess, yeah.
You said, this is a quote, why do anything when everything's provided?
I'm so used to being cared for, having everything given to me that it's hard. I guess it'd be harder for me to go out and work. And it has been harder for me, I guess.
You admit that your dad has offered you money for doing things around the house, like mowing the yard and stuff like that. You say pass.
I could have done a lot more than I have done.
I mean, let's be honest here. We can't change what we don't acknowledge, okay? Yeah. He's offered you money to do things around the house that you have to pay somebody else to do, right?
Right.
So he would pay you to do them, but what are you, saving yourself for management or something? I mean...
That's exactly right.
I mean, seriously, you could get up and do that, but you don't. He's offered to pay for career testing, give you money for tech school, and
No, I want to get. I just haven't. I haven't done it yet. The town I live in has no. It has like a community college, but I'm trying to go to like an ITT Tech or something like that, but I don't know what for, and I'm just confused on what I want to do.
Okay, go ahead.
I work in the employment field, and I've offered Matthew many times to say we can do some career testing, interest testing. Let's see what you like to do, but it has to be his decision.
But the idea is, you say find out what he likes to do.
Exactly right.
You've kind of found what you like to do.
It doesn't pay any money. Well, it does.
Actually, it pays pretty good
It
in
does.
terms.
I want that job.
If you do an output-input calculation, it pays pretty good. You got a truck, you got money, you got a house. You got a standard of living that you would have to work pretty hard to replace, don't you agree? Yeah. Now, Matt's siblings say he feels entitled to his dad's money, and when we return, I'm going to ask him about that and about why. We'll be right back.
All my brothers and sisters think I'm a moocher because I'm 21 years old and I still live with my dad.
Matt has been given everything on a silver platter and never had to work for anything.
My family feels like I have been given too much. They have been helped out just as much as I have.
Well, today we're talking about family members who are labeled as moochers. Now, Matt claims he is not a moocher and thinks his siblings are just plain jealous of him because of your lifestyle, because you don't have to do much?
No, that I've definitely, I know that I'm doing something wrong, and it when I don't have a job and I haven't had a job for a while, I definitely I know what I'm doing, and I know I don't feel good about it by any means.
Because I want to help you change this. I mean, I'm not just here to beat you over the head about this, but you can't change what you don't acknowledge. Yeah. And I think you've gotten into a lifestyle, the momentum of which is just sucking you down the river. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I know from personal experience, Matthew lived with me for a couple of years going to school. Matthew has a lot of ability. He's a very intelligent and very engaging and charming person, sometimes to a fault. Sometimes I think Matthew likes to charm his way through life rather than trying to work his way through life.
We went through kind of a day in the life. You know, generally you sleep until mid-afternoon, like 2 o'clock. You shower. You watch TV with your dog until about 6. A dog that your dad cares for and pays for, right? Then you're out all night with friends in a truck that your dad bought with money for gas, beer, date, and fun that your dad gives you. And you're out all night, but you wait up for him.
I do at times.
And then you bring some, quote, scary men into the house. What is some of your
Scary men, your friends?
Some of your buddies? You bring some of your buddies home at night?
Do your friends feel like that they can come in and out of the house at all hours of the night when they want to?
No.
Has there not been a problem at one time and Dad asked you and you said pretty much it's none of your business?
No, I don't remember that, actually.
Okay, I've been over your job history, and you're not too motivated on these jobs. I mean, you haven't really found anything that really felt good, right?
Yeah.
And so you thought the boss didn't like you on one job, didn't get along with the boss at another job. Well, we're going to talk about the other side of this. And what's it going to take for Matt to get off the couch and get out and find a job? This is a momentum thing. And I'm going to tell you what I think you need to do, Dad, and I'm going to tell you what I think you need to do when we come back.
If I felt that Matt was to be able to take care of himself on his own, I'd let him go. I'm afraid he'll fall apart if I stop being financially responsible for him.
I feel like Matt is mooching off my father. When you're almost 22 years old, it's time to do it on your own.
Today we're talking about how far some will go to get a free ride and keep a free ride. Now, Matt says he resents his brothers and sisters for making him out to be a worthless moocher because he's just not. Let's you and I be just totally honest with each other for a minute. Forget about them. Let's just, you and I talk about solving a problem, okay? What I know for sure is that you don't like what you're doing. It's comfortable, it's easy, and days turn into weeks and weeks turn into months, but you don't like what you're doing, do you?
No, I don't.
I mean, wouldn't you rather have a really good job, making a good income, owning your own car, having your own place? That's what you'd like to have, right?
Definitely. That's what I'm gonna do.
You don't like living with your dad. You love your dad, and I know you want him to be in your life on a regular basis and all, but I mean, you go meet some girl in a bar or a club or at a park or something, they say, oh, what do you do? Nah, nothing.
Yeah.
Where you live? Yeah, Pops. Live with my dad, my dog. I mean, that's not exactly, they don't confuse you with James Bond at that point, right? So that works against you on the social front, right?
Definitely.
Okay, but what do you do here? Because what's happened is you've kind of gotten into this lifestyle and it just seems like you're doing what you do today because it's what you did yesterday. And you're going to do what you do tomorrow because it's what you do today. Just one day leads to another, right? So something dramatic has to happen to break you out of this, right?
I don't know how dramatic.
Kind of dried up the conversation right there. I had him go until I said, we're going to have to change something. Have you ever heard the old saying that necessity is the mother of invention?
Yes.
He's never invented new behaviors because there's never been the necessity to do so. I don't want you to punish him. Really, you know, when I said we need to do something dramatic, you were like, whoa.
Send me off to
Military.
Yeah.
military, the army.
Yeah, military school or like, shave your head and put you somewhere. That's not what I'm talking about. Dramatic for you would be getting a job.
Yeah.
Dramatic for you would be living on your own. Dramatic for you would be determining your own outcome, right? You know, the gift that you can give this young man is what I described to him a minute ago, where he looks in the mirror and says, I'm proud of who I am today. I'm proud of what I did today. I'm proud of the future I have created. And that's the piece he doesn't have yet. Now, I don't want you to blame yourself for this because blame involves intention, that you would have a bad intention. You have had nothing but the best intentions. Absolutely the most loving, nurturing, best intentions. So this isn't about making you feel guilty, Dad. This is about inspiring you to change what you're doing. Now, if we were to develop a plan, this is something I want to do with you, not to you. Okay? Develop a plan for him to become a contributing member of society, standing on his own 2 feet with pride and dignity. Would you sign on?
You bet.
Would you check with me before you varied from the plan?
I will. I will.
Okay, because this isn't about going home and changing the locks and he's just out in the sidewalk. That's not fair.
No.
You can't treat him the way you've treated him, taught him the things that you've taught him, failed to teach him the things you failed to teach him, and then all of a sudden just go, oh, went on TV, you're out. That's not fair. We have to have a constructive plan, but it is a plan with accountability. Will you let me help you make these decisions?
You bet.
Because you'll find me a little harder to con than your dad. Because, this stuff about I need money to go to a job interview, getting that by me is like smuggling sunrise by a rooster. I'm gonna be all over that. I'm gonna be all over that. So it's, first we're gonna stop the conning, but then we've got to give you a plan. Something that's fun and exciting and that you can be proud of, because that's what you really want, isn't it?
Yes.
When somebody says, what do? You need to have an answer that's got a verb in it. And, when they say, where do you live? You need to give them your address, not his. That's what you want, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to continue to work on this. All right, we're going to add to this mix, because up next, I want to talk to a man who says his freeloading twin brother is nothing but double trouble. We're going to be right back. Today we're talking about how to handle what some family members call freeloaders. Now, Pat says he and his twin brother Mike have absolutely nothing in common except the fact that they live in the same house.
Dr. Phil, my brother and I couldn't be more different. I'm a hard-working success, and he's a freeloading mess. My twin brother Mike has been living with my wife and I for the past 2 years.
Mike sleeps all day and goes to the pub at night. It's the same routine every day.
Down at the pub, Mike is the life of the party. But here at the house, we don't see much of him unless he's headed for the refrigerator. He's paying us $400 a month.
Hey, I pay rent. I'm not a moocher.
After my mom passed, we both received a small inheritance. Mike's just wasting his inheritance on beer and paying us rent. My parents would turn over in their urn if they knew what he was doing with the money. Mike doesn't contribute to the groceries. That drives my wife nuts. Everybody else gets up and goes to work, except Mike.
Hey, I like to sleep in, man. Is that a crime?
Mike needs to get off his butt and get a job.
If you saw them walking down the street together, you would never know they were twins. Pat has hair and Mike is bald.
He's got more hair than I do. Got more belly than I do, too.
Pat is 6 feet tall. Mike's only 5'8".
Pat says he's 6 feet, but he's only 5'11".
Pat is a go-getter, Mike's a slacker. These guys are like the odd couple. Sometimes it feels like I'm married to both of them. Mike is a TV addict. He's always there like a couch potato and always watching that stinking sci-fi.
Sure, I like to watch the Sci-Fi Channel, man. Who doesn't?
My husband and I have our own place on the sofa, and Mike always seems to be right next to us. We have no privacy.
Hey, rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty.
It's tough to fill out a job application when you sleep till 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Pat and Michelle have actually taped the classifieds to my door.
Great jobs in the classified today.
But I prefer the sports section.
When I'm cooking something, he circles the stove like he's looking for something.
He's always sneaking snacks, and he thinks he gets away with it.
Oh, he's way exaggerating this moocher thing.
Look, I love my brother. He's a great guy. But we've got to do something about him. He's just driving us nuts.
Okay, now, first up, what's up with this? I mean, are you just, this is working for you, right? You're comfortable and you like your you like your lifestyle?
Not necessarily. I know I need to get out and get a job. But I mean, it's been made easy for me.
Well, why do you say you need to get out and get a job?
Because I do.
Why?
Well, to feel better about myself and give them their privacy back.
Yeah. And you're 49?
Yes.
Okay. You're 21? If you wonder where this is headed, I mean, what do you think? What would you say to this boy?
Get out and get a job so you don't look like me.
Why is this okay with you?
It's not okay with me.
Based on results, it is. You're married to 2 people here. Is that driving you nuts?
Very much so. I've begged my husband to do something about it.
Where are we going to be in 5 years if you don't do something?
Same spot.
Is that okay?
No, sir.
Then why not deal with it now instead of 5 years from now? Or why not have dealt with it 2-3 years ago instead of now? I mean, isn't now the best time in the world to do something different?
Yes, sir.
And aren't you entitled as a husband and wife to have your privacy?
Oh, certainly. But quite honestly, I try to avoid the confrontation. But on the other hand, when we do mention to Mike that we'd like our guest room back, it's, oh, okay, yeah, I'm working on it. But it doesn't seem to develop, and thus the reason we contacted you.
Coming up, we're going to talk about whether Mike will blow all of his inheritance money and end up penniless with no place to live, or if there's something that can happen to change the metrics here. We'll be right back.
I want Mike to move out because he's causing some stress in the family.
We get in arguments about him almost every day.
When we let Mike move in, we thought it'd be temporary, but it's been almost 2 years and he's still here.
If it was my brother, I would have kicked his butt out a long time ago.
Well, we're here with Pat, who feels guilty about even thinking about kicking his twin brother out of the house, but yet feels like something needs to change. Now, Pat's wife, Michelle, says his brother Mike needs to leave because it's hurting their marriage. You've got kids involved here. Aren't they entitled to a family unit that is just the nuclear family?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because they have to share the stage, the space, the TV, the couch, everything with Uncle Mike.
Yeah, he's sort of like a third child.
Yeah. What's the problem with getting a job?
I put several applications in, and I think a lot of it's my age right now. I'm not as confident at interviews as I used to be. I used to be able to go out and get a job very easily.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I'm in a rut, and I'm being lazy too.
You've been on 6 job interviews in 18 months. Now, see, here's my theory. My theory is that if you had a job, you'd work all day.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems if you don't have a job, you ought to at least work as hard on finding a job as you would if you had a job. You know, go through the paper, go to interviews, go to all these different places, go down for daylight, do whatever you have to do, but get back into the flow of finding a job, because you're not going to find it on the couch or down at the pub, right?
That's right.
I mean, have you had any offers at the pub?
No.
I mean, nobody said, now you look like a go-getter. You're going to have to change something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all heard what I was saying to Matt in saying to his dad, you're not helping him by allowing him to continue to not perform at the level he's at. He's not performing at all, so there's no real level, it's just no performance. And isn't that what is happening here?
Yeah, I feel a little bit resentful because he's spending the money that was left for him to provide shelter or buy a home or what have you. But in the other sense, I don't want to let my my parents down, if that makes sense to you.
It does make sense because you guys are twins, and there's a real dynamic between twins, but you're not giving your brother a gift by enabling him to continue to do this. You've got to come up with a plan that has a timeline to it. And if he wants to burn up that trust money, then he needs to burn it up somewhere else. Because what you're saying is, well, at least he's not bleeding as bad here as he would be if he was paying rent and everything somewhere else. But that's not your problem. You are employable. You are intelligent, correct?
Yes.
You are healthy.
Yes.
You're just not real big in the willing department because you've gotten real comfortable, right?
Yes.
I mean, this is pretty nice life. But truly, wouldn't you feel better if you were using your mind, if you were challenged in some way, if you had something to get up for every day?
Most definitely.
Even if it was an entry-level position, you're up doing something and you're interacting, and then you begin to do something, and you can get that kind of a job, right? I mean, this stuff about saving yourself for, like, you know, some kind of management position or whatever is not the place to start. You need to get a job. And you need to get whatever job you can get and then build for another job. And you need to make a plan and say, oh, we're going to do that before the end of the month. And then you need to earn that money for 30 days, and then you need to find a place to live. And then you just need to start stepping into this stuff. You're cheating him by allowing him to stay in the comfort zone. So that's got to stop. And the difference between a dream and a goal, you dream of him moving. The difference between a dream and a goal is a timeline. You need to have a job by the end of the month. You need to be moved out by the end of the next month. And you can do that. That's doable here, right?
Yes, sir.
And it's just a matter of saying, I'm going to get a job. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. You need to have, will you do that?
Yeah.
I mean, will you do that?
Yes.
For sure, you will do that.
Yes.
The cameras are rolling. And if he is unwilling to do that, then you just need to drop him off at the shelter or something.
Okay.
All right, next we're going to check in with a family of 13 all living in a trailer together. Now we're going to find out who's the newest moocher that's living there and see if any of this has to do with any of that. We'll be right back. Today we're talking to families who say they don't know how to get rid of their freeloading children. A few months ago, Byron and Cher came to the show because they wanted their children to move out once and for all, and because they just kept coming back. They're like boomerangs. They didn't have the heart to put them out, so I volunteered to do it for them. Here's what happened.
We have 3 grown-up kids, and we just can't seem to get rid of them. They just mooch off of us for everything.
Do y'all think you should live somewhere else?
Yeah, I totally want to be somewhere else.
I don't think any of us want to live at home.
But yet you do.
We had 13 people living in a small trailer, and that is financially stressful for me and my husband. My 30-year-old son, Che, will come in during the day, eat as much as he can, and never offers to buy groceries.
I absolutely go through the refrigerator at my parents' house. There's a lot of good things in there. I want to clear one thing up, though. I do not live with my parents right now.
No, you just go over there to eat every day.
Che was sleeping on our couch. He was sleeping in our children's bedroom. Because there wasn't enough room in the house, he pitched a tent in the backyard and slept outside. When my 24-year-old daughter, Tabitha, moved back home with her husband and 2 kids, I said, oh boy, we're already crowded, but they have to have a place to live.
You've set them up for this. If you had started preparing her for self-sufficiency 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, then she wouldn't have been in that situation today. And if you don't start it today, she'll be in the same situation 5 years from now.
My daughter, Star, has also moved back with us recently. This time, she brought her new husband, Gus, with her.
I expect my parents to help us out because I know that they love us. I've never paid rent or contributed paying the bills.
Our landlord came to us and started the eviction process. We are struggling because of them.
You guys said you would do anything that I wanted you to do to help solve this problem. This is a satellite uplink from your house.
Oh my.
What we have here is a moving van. It's your house, so you need to tell the movers to start moving.
Load it up.
Well, let's see what happened after the moving van left that day.
Initially, I was totally shocked when I saw Dr. Phil's crew moving my kids out of the house.
I think it was a wake-up call for my children.
There wasn't any ifs, ands, or buts about it. Stuff was gone.
What you got to eat at your house, son?
At first I was upset, but now I'm really excited about it.
Look, Dr. Phil, we have our own kitchen, our own bathroom, and even our own bedroom.
All of my brothers and sisters moved out, and then I got my bedroom back.
Looking back, I cannot believe that there was 13 people living in this mobile home.
I can't believe that they're all gone.
Dr. Phil helped us get rid of the old moochers, but now we have a new moocher to deal with.
Now we have another house guest. That's our 26-year-old Christopher. He just came back from jail.
I got out of jail 2 months ago. I think my parents like to have me around.
Chris is the biggest moocher of all. He always has a reason for mooching.
You need your own space, man. I mean, give me a break.
I can't just leave my mom's house.
Chris needed a good, safe place to stay in order to get early parole.
What if he's not ready to go after 2 months?
I guess he's going to get 2 more months.
I think my parents definitely put up with my mooching because they like me better than everybody else.
Chris came home, he had over $1,000 in his pocket. Shortly thereafter, he came to me and wanted to borrow money.
I plan on leaving as soon as I can financially afford to move out of here.
By Christopher being at the home again, it's put financial burden on us. It's put more pressure on the living space. One of our daughters and now stays in a room with her sister.
Chris doesn't have a driver's license, so he relies on us to drive him around.
I think my parents always know I'll have the traits of being a mooch.
Chris is a moocher because he's allowed to be. He just gets away with more stuff.
Dr. Phil, I finally figured out how to handle my mooching kids. But should I make an exception for my son, Chris, who just got out of jail?
Okay, now, let me tell you why we had y'all back for this show. Because I wanted you to have a refresher course on what I had to say to this family and this family. Now, what am I getting ready to tell you?
I think, you know, in Chris's case, I think we had a different kind of a situation because he did need a way to be able to get released from pre-release. And what I didn't know at that time was that he had enough money to probably get himself set up. But when he came home, he pretty much spent the money. He squandered it on family. He was being good to his family, apparently. But yeah, we need to make sure that Chris moves on and gets on with his own life. He does work. He does have employment. So it's not that he's lazy.
Well, sorta. But here, if you don't think that he won't get into this pattern and rhythm, and it's like putting down roots, each day they're getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, last time I had to send a truck with movers to the house to get him out because the roots were down so much. He needed a safe place to go, a good environment in order to pre-release from jail, okay? Then maybe he didn't need to be pre-released from jail. And also there are halfway houses, there are release residences they can go to. There are all kinds of things they can do. But he is now released and he can do something else, right?
Yes, he can.
You do want him to move, right?
Yeah.
So
we gave Chris 2 months. Basically, if I'd have known he had money with him, I probably would have charged him rent at the time. But somebody else got there before I did, and that kind of changed the perspective of what I could do. And, you know, if he's not out by his time, he, as one of the twins here, will pay rent. But I do not believe that it's something that we need to continue. He needs to find his own place.
yeah, this isn't about charging rent or not. Y'all don't run a boarding house. What you have is a home with children. And you want to have this nuclear home where the children get to be the star during their childhood. They get to be the center of attention. They get to have the space. They get to have the time, the effort, the energy, the focus. They don't have to share their stage with somebody who's there because he needed to since he just got out of jail. Okay, that's cheating them. That's gypping the children that are entitled to be there, right?
That's right.
So there's no amount of money that he can pay that makes that a good trade. And if you said you can stay here for 2 months, I'd get my calendar and I would start checking that off. and let him know ahead of time, you need to start accumulating. Either get you a roommate or get in a boarding house or do something, because we're going to have our family just share this space alone. You owe it to the children. Did you hear her say, I got my room back? Yay! Come on. Let's let them be the center of attention. You're not only cheating the people you're enabling, you're cheating the children that need to enjoy that time and space of being center stage. Don't you agree?
Sounds good. That's just,
your enthusiasm is underwhelming.
I'm just saying that it's easy to say, but you love your children no matter how old they are. It's a syndrome, You get into it, but I know you got to set boundaries and guidelines.
But love is not crippling. If you love them in a way that keeps them from going to the next level, then that love is for you, it's not for them. You're doing it because you feel good about what you're doing, because it certainly is not in their best interest. Love is putting their best interest ahead of your own. And if it eases your guilt or it makes you feel compassionate because you're doing that, that's good for you, but it's not good for them. Love is preparation. Love is helping them move to the next level. Love is being a fiduciary where you put their interest ahead of your own. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.